Hey, this is Jeff Justice with Jeff Justice Seminars for Court Reporters, and we are delighted that you picked us to get some of your online CEUs with. So, you notice now you probably got a PDF. Go ahead and print that out so you can follow along with it with the course here. And at the end, you can scan it or send it back to us, or just put the answers into an email and send it to us. And we will get you your answers back and your score back right away and take care of getting you your CEUs. So, get ready to laugh and learn with Jeff Justice Seminars for Court Reporters. So, raise your hand if you have stress in your life. Some of you got both hands up, right? Yeah, stress is actually something that we need. I don't know about you, but I need the stress of a deadline to get a project done. Right? I mean, how fast we can get those transcripts out if the lawyers just said, no, whatever. Yeah, when you got time. And I know definitely sometimes, except when I get to do these programs, that I need the stress of paying my bills just to go to work. Right? Be honest, how many people here, if they hit the big lotto tonight, would be at the job on Monday? I don't mean just to pick your stuff up. The only agency, is that why? So I used to laugh at people like him. You read about them all the time, especially in Georgia. You know, it's like people win like $50 million, they keep their day job. Yeah, I ain't quitting the job at Dairy Queen, I need security. Right? Then I thought about it. If I worked for some big corporation, hit the lotto, got that kind of cash, I think I definitely would keep my job for a few days. Just to annoy everybody. Wouldn't that be fun? Come cruising to work about 11:30? Nothing but a Speedo and flip-flops. Jeff, you're late again. The boss is looking for you and he's mad. Ooh, I'm shaking. Hope I can drive my Ferrari. Stress is a true thing, but you know, I don't think stress comes from bad stuff. We can't get things done without stress. Could you imagine doling America without stress? Right? Could you imagine trying to raise your kids without stress, trying to get stuff accomplished? We need that. You ever see what happens to a little kid when they laugh a lot? Really hard? They fall down. And there's no stress left in their body. You try to pick them up, it's like trying to pick up spaghetti with your fingers, right? We need that stress just to stay upright. And people think it comes just from bad things, it comes from good things too. Anybody here ever get married? Right? It's supposed to be the most wonderful day of your life, right? Usually the most stressful day of your life. Or you ever get stressed out from somebody trying to pay you a compliment? They're trying to say something nice to you. I had a guy come up one time and goes, man, you look like that dude on TV. I said, yeah, I know. I hear it all the time. Who, Jeff Foxworthy? He goes, no, the neighbor on The Simpsons. Who put it up to YouTube? I had a friend of mine, Ken. Said this old lady comes up to one time and says, anybody ever tell you you look like Bill Murray? And he says, you know, yes, actually I have had people tell me that. She goes, he's an ugly man. What do you say? You know? I'm sure she thought that was a compliment. Well, too bad for you, pal, you look like him. A lot of stress, you know, just comes from everything in life. Distress is the problem, that's the negative side of stress. A lot of that comes from negative self-talk. How many of you start off the week going, boy, is this going to be a great week this week? Boy, I'm sure I'm going to get lots of depositions. I'm going to be able to understand everybody. It's amazing to probably give me a list of all the medical terms before I even start. No, you find yourself going through that negative self-talk. Like how many people here talk to themselves? About half, okay. So you tell me all you that didn't raise your hand, a little voice inside your head didn't just go, I don't talk to myself. Maybe these nut jobs do. I'm the same one in the bunch. That's how we process information. Talking to ourselves, working things out. Matter of fact, psychiatrists tell us if we're not talking to ourselves, we need to be talking to them. So stress is very much part of your life. But there's different things that stress you out, especially specific to being a court reporter. Like, so what are some things that cause you stress? Running late, okay. Running late.
Rush job.
What?
Rush job.
Rush job, okay. Yeah, don't speak when I'm turned around because I'm deaf in one ear and I'll just go, huh? So, what?
Deadlines. Deadlines.
Deadlines. Okay. Equipment. Now you can't judge me on my spelling because I'm doing the best I can here with a C+ average.
Okay, mark the first T off.
Hey, I'm smart enough to run this seminar, aren't I? Okay. You ever get the story that they had Ford back years and years ago? Henry Ford was in court. He was suing somebody for libel because they were saying that he was stupid and ignorant. And the guy started to ask, lawyer started asking questions. And finally looks at the guy and says, on my desk I got a box there and it's got 8 buttons on it. And any question I want answered, I can just push a button and somebody will come answer it for me. So, I never trust anybody that only has one way of spelling a word. I think it was Mark Twain that said that. I think, you know, a little creativity, you can do it different ways. Who else? What, are you taking a picture of it that is all messed up there? I'm sitting in this NCRA. See that on the front of the J&R? How about over on this side with some things that cause you stress?
Attorneys arguing. Attorneys
arguing. So multiple people speaking at a time. Yeah. Okay. Now you're just trying to come up with words that I can't spell, aren't you? That's not even close, is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. Wow. Okay. I'm feeling kind of good. Yeah, take a picture of that one. All right, I get that one. That one. What else do we have? Spouse. So like spouse and family? Okay. Never want to take pictures of the good ones. Okay. Anybody else? Are 5-hour people over here? Any 5-hour questions? Finances? Okay. Kids? Yeah, we'll put that on the spouse. Spouse plus. Now, finances, if you've all been coming to my seminars a long time, years and years ago, I kept telling you, invest in gold, here are the names of the stocks I do. Gold was like $300 an ounce, it's about $1,300 last week. So, I don't need this job anymore. I got 2 ounces, you do the math. All right, anybody else?
Traffic.
Traffic, okay. And that's kind of running late. We do traffic too.
Credits.
Credits? Trying to get your credits? I got a way you can deal with that. How about,
Not getting paid.
not getting paid, okay. Illness, okay. Seminars. People that wear Sooner shirts in the... No. Why didn't y'all tell me I was dressed like... People like it, just I'm driving by this going. University of South Carolina. It's my daughter's school. Gamecocks. Yay. 2 words I always thought that would be associated with my daughter. Anything else besides that? What? Okay, how about fast-talking witnesses? How about witnesses with foreign accents? Right? Those witnesses. I think that's most of the stuff, I don't know. Bad hair day? All right, so let's go over some of these. Now some of them just are pretty much in your job description, aren't they? Deadlines, that's pretty much part of the job, isn't it? Rush jobs, a lot. It's kind of like becoming a cop and after a while going, geez, you know, all they want to do is, you know, chase criminals and hand out tickets. Pretty much the job. That's it. Yeah, but it's like every day. Yeah, every day, that's the job there. But traffic, anybody have the GPSs now that actually tell you where the traffic is? Do you find it handy? Does it help? Depends. Right, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I've thought about that too. You know, I'm driving down the road going, okay, I'm supposed to be turned on. But don't text. It's one of my students. So I wasn't texting, I was typing. So, is it illegal here now, the text? While driving? It is in Georgia. Georgia, it's like if you're driving, you have your head down or, you know, doing anything like that, they'll pull you over. And I don't know if anybody's gotten pulled over yet, but it actually is a law. So obviously leave early. But sometimes that doesn't help. I had two people that couldn't make the seminar here because they were somewhere in Texas that two semis met on a bridge on the way here today, and right on the bridge, and it was closed down. There's no other way to get here. So there's some things you just can't avoid. So let me ask you, how many of you have a network of other court reporters that are in the areas that if you can't make it to a job, you can call one of them and have them do it? Anybody? Yeah, one person. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? I mean, I have a group of comedians that if I can't make it to some place, and friends that are in Denver, Colorado, California, Atlanta, and Florida, those are the main areas, that snowstorms, traffic, planes, whatever, I can call them and say, I can't get to this meeting, can you make it there? And the meeting planners know that too, that if I can't make it, I'll get somebody else to replace it. So, but that helps reduce my stress a lot. Because there's a lot of times, especially living in Georgia, where not only are we dealing with tornadoes, we're dealing with the hurricanes like they are here too. So we're traveling, and there's been 3 or 4 times that we almost didn't make it because of hurricanes. We still had to take buses from Augusta, Georgia to Atlanta to make it to the airport. And then when she got to the airport, they told her they got rid of her seat because she didn't show up for the Augusta flight, which was canceled. All right, so you cancel the flight, you put everybody on a bus to get to Atlanta, then you give away their seats. Well, we got her on there anyway. And Patty, she missed a plane yesterday by 2 minutes. So be prepared. Anything else anybody can do about running late? You can get those GPSs, the ones that tell you where the traffic is. You can just leave earlier and bring work with you. You can have people that can fill in for you emergencies. I'm sorry, you want to say something? No? Okay. Anything else? Yep. All right, and rush jobs. That's part of the job, isn't it? That's more like families trying to understand that, isn't it? Wait a second, well, you got to do that all night? What were you doing all day? Yeah. Oh, watching TV, eating bonbons. You know. Is it hard for family to understand what you do?
Yes.
It's hard for other people. How do we get paid for so much? Because we work our butts off, that's why. A lot of people don't realize the work that you all do once you get home, do they? Yeah. Yeah, okay. And deadlines? Anybody ever leave a vacation to get a job to somebody on Monday? Nobody? One person? Okay. Georgia, we get a lot of people doing it. Up in New Jersey, it's like, hey, what are you kidding me? Hey, my vacation, I ain't going nowhere, right? But that's tough too. Well, you ever do that? You ever come home from vacation, you finish a job, and you get there and they settle? So, you didn't want it when you need it. Now you didn't want it when I did it, now you need it right away, but you don't want to give me any extra pay. Yeah. Equipment issues. Here's one that I was telling people last time, and everybody was kind of staring at me like a couple of truckers outside a closed Waffle House. Huh? What? Do you all know about flash drives? Right, the little things you can put on your keychains now? They have those things up to 32 gigabytes. You know, you can put like the Library of Congress on one of these things. And I don't know if it's possible, that's why I was asking people, is it possible to load your software onto one of those? You say no?
Well, because in Windows you get there, you still have to have a computer in order to work. So if the laptop goes down.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that what speakers do, and I don't know if it's the same for you, is like with Patty, she has a little flash drive that's got her whole presentation on it, the software and everything, and all her presentation. So if she comes here and her computer doesn't work, and if you know Patty, there's a real good chance of that happening, then she can just plug it into my computer and use my computer. So you have to have the key to activate it? So could you write that down and bring it with you?
No.
No, okay, so that's what I'm asking. So everybody's got a key that you have to do it? Okay. So my thing is, don't let your computer break. Maintenance. Does everybody keep their files offline? I mean, out of your house? Not in a hard drive on your house? You know, Carbonite.com and those places now, they really are safe. And it's like $50 a year or $55 a year for unlimited storage. So God forbid anything happens, a flood, a fire, whatever, you lose everything. You can get a new computer, plug it into the internet, and just download everything, the software, everything right back onto it again. For $55 a year, that's an incredible insurance, don't you think? And they have other plans with other companies that you can do it with every computer in the house. So, that's it.
What was the name of that place again?
Carbonite.com. Just like Carbonite. I won't spell it for you because you see how well I spell it. But I imagine it's C-A-R-B-O-N-I-T-E. Okay? And they're on the internet, just search it. As a matter of fact, usually if you put any of the talk show hosts' name in, like Rush Limbaugh or Sean for Hannity or whatever, you get like 2 months free and a discount or something. So try that, put Rush in or something like that, and you get a discount on it too. Hi. Yeah, people argue. You're trying to produce the best transcript that you can. What are some of the solutions that people have for telling attorneys that you're not getting the whole picture?
One at a time.
One at a time. That's just simple. Just state that. Excuse me. One at a time. Anybody else?
The judge.
Hmm?
The judge. I have a judge that takes care of it.
Well, good luck on that.
He does.
It's like when I work. Yeah, yours does. But yeah, that's like comedy clubs where we're talking about hecklers. Oh yeah, that's the part where the club owner comes up and says, "Excuse me, but you're interrupting the comedian on stage. Could you please keep it down, or we're going to have to ask you to leave?" It's like the Punchline in Atlanta might be the only one that does that. So for most of you, I'll have judges that just go, "Excuse me, the court reporter is trying to make a good transcript. Could we do one at a time?" No, it's okay. So consider yourself very lucky. Anybody else have anything else that they can do?
Hands in the air.
Right, international, what is that? That's also good for breaks too, because you're in charge of your breaks, aren't you? You know, you're pretty much at their whim. I had one court reporter said they've gone for 5 hours without a break. Finally, she puts her hands up like this, and the lawyer looks up and goes, "What's the problem?" She says, "I need to take a break." She says, "Well, we're not finished yet." She said, "Oh, well, you can keep going. I need to take a break." So then, of course, she put it, they kind of put it on the court reporter. Well, I guess the court reporter needs to take a break, so let's take 10 minutes. Because usually they got to go too, right? But they just won't break because they don't want to be the first one to stop, right? But those egos involved. And spouses, anybody have some good ideas for dealing with spouse and family without all you have to do? We got nothing, Jeff. James, come on, 80 years here. You got some sage advice?
I sent her to Oklahoma this weekend.
There you go. Send the spouse to Oklahoma when you need to get something. But
How much you're going to make on that job?
that's it. I try to do that all the time. This is to pay for your acting lessons, kid. They pay this so you can go to school, right? So we can eat here. Yeah, right. Yeah, you told me that last week. Yeah. That'll go so far, but yeah, let them know how much you're going to make, and this is my job when you're married me. Does anybody feel like their family really does understand what they're doing? Oh, okay, good. What's your secret for getting them to understand?
We have family meetings and I tell them what my schedule looks like and when it's going to be over and what we're going to do when it's over.
We have family meetings too, but usually everybody's armed. Is that a bad sign? That's not good, is it? I guess we shouldn't give them coffee before. That's good. Open communication, because the more you communicate, the more you're open about things, the more people understand, hopefully. Yeah, it's going to be sometimes that they don't. Anybody else have a solution for family?
We say no sex.
No sex, okay. Now, there are some spouses that go, thank you. Pressure's off. Can I get that in writing? No. So, yeah, that's trade outs. That's one thing. Okay. Dangling the carrot, so to speak. Doesn't sound right either, does it? Okay. Forget that. Don't take a picture of that. Is it hot here to you guys now? You asked me to move this, and I broke it. That's the problem with these things. 2 degrees, and it's like moving up to hang heat.
What's hanging?
Don't tell Cuba. Ah, isn't that much better? Look, come on back on in a minute. Anything else with the spouses? Understanding communications, that's probably the best thing. I know my wife is in a gourmet and cook industry. She has a line of gourmet products called Grits Bits, which are just delicious, great little cookie snacks. And she also has a line of write your own cookbooks. So like family heirloom things, like at a wedding, and you buy one, you pass them around to everybody to put in their favorite recipes, or you know, if you're a mom, you can give them to your daughters and stuff like that. But she's got a website, Strawberry Patch, that she does those on. But every once in a while, she gets a deal with a big catalog. And she just sells tens of thousands of books to them just overnight. And she makes a big windfall. The kids know that when she makes a windfall like that, hey, money's easy, let's go out shopping, let's go on vacation. But then when that doesn't happen too, everybody knows to tighten the belt. I'm not saying it's not still complaining, but you know, it's like my youngest daughter has my wife's number. She knows if they go to Target and there's something under $10, she'll buy it for her. And she's good. She's great at picking stuff up for $9.99, Mom. Can I get that? Yeah, sure. $10. Non-payment. Didn't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there's people that just said, I just do COD. That's it. I get it. You pay for it. There's, here's one thing that you can do. When you get to the point that you've already sent them notices, they're still not doing it, write them a letter. And you can always keep the language, you know, very nice. And CC the state bar. Now the thing is, the state bar would do nothing. They're not going to get involved at all. But their attorneys hate it when you send that to the bar when they're not notified. So a lot of times that will get their attention and get you paid. There's other things you can do. If you got somebody who hasn't paid for a while, you can say, send out a notice. If you paid by this Friday, we'll give you such and such percentage off. And there's people that say, well, you know what? I worked hard and I want to get paid 100% for that. Well, isn't it better to get 90% paid for it than not at all, or waiting another 2 or 3 or 4 months? No?
$1.
Well, but what if you can't get it all?
You get it all. We go sit there.
You get it all eventually. Okay. You could be, my wife is like, she's merciless. It turns out that the people that stiff her for some reason, the ones she gets stiffed by the most, are Christian bookstores. For some reason, I don't know. It's like our worst payers that there are. And she had one that she would send postcards to them. And on the back would say, what would Jesus do? Pay me. Or she'll send another one, thou shalt not steal. Right? And she sent them out on postcards to people. And she had one that was really, really tough in a small town in Georgia. Finally figured out where she lived, figured out who the store was next to her, talked to them, found out what church she went to, called up the minister at the church, said, everything going all right with Betty Sue? Well, I think so. Why? Well, I'm a long time, provider for her. She buys from me. She's just been having a real hard time paying. I want to just make sure everything's okay with the family and everything. And if you check in on, I sure would appreciate it. And like 2 hours later, we get a phone call. You called my minister? We got to check that weekend, okay? So, anybody else have any other great ideas about non-payment?
I usually just call them and say, I'm sorry that your law office is struggling so terribly, but if you need to set up a minimum monthly payment of $10,
Right.
we can certainly do that for you. It's usually a little bit humiliating for them, and they'll kind of send you it.
How much can you afford? Maybe $5? Yeah, it's a humiliation. I like that. That's one I haven't thought about before. But yeah. How many people have gone to the office to pick them up? Just get your check. That works too. Here's another one. If you have like really annoying nieces and nephews, take them with you. I had a woman up in New Jersey tell me that. She said she has a nephew who's just one of those, and she just went there at 9 o'clock in the morning. The secretary saying, "I'm sorry, he's not here right now, and he's going to be back later on. I just don't know when." I said, "Oh, that's okay. I got nothing else to do today. I'm babysitting the days off," and just told the kid, "Okay." Relaxed and just sat there, and this kid just is screaming, run around the office. I mean, like, one of these kids you almost see like on TV and stuff. And within an hour, the secretary's on the phone going, "You need to get in here now. Bring cash." Possibility, okay? So be creative about it. It's your money, you worked hard for it. Now, do you know the people not to work for it too?
Yeah.
Just tell me you don't ever take a job that you know is a bad job because you're afraid you won't get another job. You can't do that. And if y'all don't know who's the bad ones, you should talk to each other about that. That was on the tape. Okay. And illness, that's kind of the same thing as the late traffic and that. Be prepared, because you're going to get sick. Right? Is there people that can fill in for you? Is there people that you know that you can trust to do a job for you? And my problem is the show doesn't go on without me. I work sometimes so sick that I had to just sit down every 15 minutes and go take medicine and come back and just covered with sweat because there's no show. And I got 100 to 150 people showing up for a seminar, and it's not like I can go, well, let me see if I can find somebody else that knows my whole entire presentation. So that's tough for me. I've got to show up. But, anybody have any solutions for sick? One thing that I take that helps me really through the day when I am sick is the daycare, the NyQuil daycare thing. Dayquil. I don't know if it has caffeine or what in it. And my wife always goes, well, that's not going to make you well. Yes, but it's going to make me feel better until I get well. Okay, so I can sit there and be sitting there like throwing down shooters like a drunken sailor. Okay. It's no fun. And witnesses. Whew. Foreign witnesses are tough. Well, sometimes once you listen to them for a while, you can start to get the rhythm down. Like I have a lot of Indian friends, and they just have a whole different cadence of talking. Right? Like if I give somebody my phone number, it's like, oh, it's 404-262-7406. I ask my friend again, and he's like, 402-627-406. I'm like, my brain's like, what? Because it's just not at the same rhythm that you normally hear, right? Or if I go to like a foreign, even a British movie, if I go watch a British movie, it takes me about 15 minutes to figure out what they're saying, to get my ear trained to that accent and stuff. And down in Georgia, we get some people, I don't see how the court reporter is, it's like, hey, it's down there. What? Wait on the guy, no idea what to do with that, so. What do you all do? Yeah? What'd you say? Fine. Like one woman was doing her transcript, somebody's proofing for her, and had the phrase down, and then he came down to the carnal store, C-A-R-N-E-L, and her friend's going, you sure that's right? Oh yeah, that's what he said. She goes, well, what does carnal store even mean? I don't know, maybe it's like an adult bookstore, get carnal knowledge down there or something. And I was saying corner bookstore, carnal. And of course, you get lawyers both of them talking at once. Anybody else have a solution for that with witnesses? Somebody asked me this the other day. A lot of stress from readbacks. You all enjoy doing that? Well, why didn't that come up as something stressful? Okay, and one of the things I was saying to her is that you got to get comfortable with it because it's part of the job, isn't it? And I used to be terrified. I'm actually pretty much an introvert when I'm away from the microphone and stuff. I'm very happy going to a party, just sitting in the corner by myself. Now, if you come up and start talking to me, I'll talk to you all night long, but I'm not a real outgoing person like that. And in college, having to take public speaking courses, I was terrified. But I started years ago at a magic shop doing little magic tricks and giving a presentation to conventioneers. And when I first started off, it was just terrifying to me. And finally, it got easier and easier and easier to the point that I love being on stage now in front of a group of people. So if part of your job is readbacks, and that just terrifies you having to do that, I might even suggest you take something like Toastmasters. They have them all over the place. It's a great organization, and you're forced to get up each week and sometimes give an extemporaneous speech or write a speech, or maybe an improv class or an acting class, something that gets you up there doing it so you break out of your comfort zone. In Atlanta, in my comedy class, I've had over 2,000 people take my comedy class. I would say at least 500 of them have taken it because the idea of taking a comedy class scares the hell out of them. Okay, and they might be getting a promotion at work where now they're going to be in management, they have to give presentations, so they take the class to try to get over that fear of doing it. So if it's part of your job, you got to do it instead of every time, the whole time you're taking down the transcription going, oh God, please don't make me read this back. Oh God, I can read this back. Those little stresses like that, that's what really starts to destroy your health over a long period of time. You've heard the old analogy about a frog. How do you boil them in a pot of water? If you put them in a pot of boiling water, he'll just jump out. But if you put them in cold water and you slowly turn it up a little bit at a time, you'll eventually boil them to death. Because that stress, that heat increase over a long period of time, you don't notice. Same thing with stress. All the little stresses, whether it's keeping something from somebody, or the stress of knowing something you're not going to like is coming up all the time, or the stress of always worrying about being late. Like I used to almost always be late for airports. I'm always there an hour and a half early now, except for this past week. I'm embarrassed to tell you, I couldn't find my wallet Friday morning. I'm ready to leave the house at 11:45 for 2:45 flight. I'm only like 17 minutes from the airport, plenty of time. And I'm looking everywhere. Everywhere it could possibly be, I looked. I'm in the car. I'm outside in the garbage because I just emptied the garbage, thinking I threw that out. And I don't know. I should just ask my wife when I can't find something. Honey, can you come out here? Half hour late now. I can't find the wallet. So she goes back in the house. She finds it within like 45 seconds. Where was it? Downstairs bath. Now, why would it ever be in the downstairs bath? That's the stupidest thing I ever heard of. And I realized I've been trying to lose weight, and that's where the scale is. So when I came down one morning, I took my wallet out of my pocket because it weighs like 1.5 pounds and put it down. Okay, got to put it back in again. So vanity almost caused me to be late for the flight there. But that's one of the keys. You got to learn to laugh at yourself, right? When you laugh at yourself, when things cause you stress and you tell other people, that's where you find the laughter. That's where you find the humor in your story. And in finding the humor, that's where you find the healing in it too. Because all of a sudden, once you can laugh at those things, they become non-stressful. You look forward to it. My wife and I are always calling each other up if I'm on the road, telling each other the stupid thing that we did that day, the mistake that we made, something like that, so we can laugh at it and get it out instead of holding it in going, oh my God, if anybody finds it, they're going to be humiliated. You got to think of my comedy class. One of the number one things is for people to be able to poke fun at themselves. I tell people, if you can't laugh at yourself, either we're going to just make fun of you the whole time anyway, you might as well just leave now. You got to be able to poke fun at yourself, and it reduces the stress. Like I had one person say, you know what? I'm like 35 years old. My entire life, I've had the stress of people referring to me as a band nerd, because I played in band in college. And I tried to tell them it wasn't. I mean, we weren't bad nerds. It was really cool. We did this and that and everything. And finally, it was after taking this class, I realized I was a bad nerd. Because it was like a 40-pound weight sliding off my back. You know, all these years of trying to, not being able to laugh at myself was, you know, all that stress just melted away. And another thing too is when somebody holds something against you, if you can laugh at it, then how can they hold it against you, right? If it doesn't bother you, you know, how can they use it to needle it? And I always try to find the humor and stuff like that. I always try to find the joke. My oldest daughter's always been upset because my wife and I are older as parents. All of our friends are the soccer, their kids' parents are the soccer moms, you know, with the khaki shorts and the polo shirts and everything. That's just not me, Diane. You know, with more t-shirts, pedals, flip-flops. And it just drives her crazy. And sometimes she goes, oh, you're just old, you don't understand. That's right. Like when people come up to us and find out we had our last child at 45, they go, 45? How did that happen? One night, me and Granny were sitting there watching that. Got a little frisky. And see, I don't mind being an older parent. It stresses my wife out sometimes because she's the one that gets, you know, when she was with my daughter, oh, does she call you Grandma or Nana? She calls me Mom. Whoops. Me, I just have fun with it. I just laugh at it. So, anything else that causes you all stress? Puts you on edge? I mean, as a court reporter, that's specific to your job? Okay, it's going to be a long next hour. Maybe we've got other things for you. Hi. Anybody ever feel physical pain from stress? Physical symptoms?
Yes.
Shoulders, right? What else?
Headaches.
What? Ulcer?
Stomach
Headaches?
Heart racing.
Heart rate beating, yes. Lightheaded?
Feel like you can't breathe.
Can't breathe? I tell you, I'm usually a very, very low stress person. I'm just really good at just letting it all wash over me. And really thought I had a handle on it. And some of you from past classes might remember that I do Tai Chi as a hobby. My fun. And we've got a non-combative form of competition called push hands. And last year I'd already won an international champion, and I won 2 national championships. At 57, that was kind of cool. And then he decided to have a world championship. I could be the world champion. And the thing with Tai Chi is you have to stay loose. The tighter you get, the easier it is to push you over. And I just got myself in this, and wound up losing the back match that I'm really good at, which is called fixed step. And then in the thing called moving step, which I stink at, I was just so relaxed and I'm like, oh, what the heck, this guy always beats me at this. I just wiped the floor with him because I was so relaxed. And that night I went back and I videotaped it, and I don't videotape my whole life, it's just, you know, the important things like being with you guys. But I'm looking at the match, and for some reason I'm going, oh my God, the judge was wrong. The scorekeeper, I won the match by 1 point, instead of getting tied or losing in overtime. I watched it 3 times. I'm going, oh my God, I really won the world championship. I got to go tell them. And the guy that had beaten me was a good buddy of mine, and we were going out to dinner that night, and I was going, hey, Ty, you know, by the way, I was looking at the video of my match, and you know, they scored it wrong. I actually won. And so I'm waiting for him to be like me, going, really? Okay, let's go talk to the, you know, the person who's running the whole program and get you that trophy and that. He just looks at me and goes, well, too bad. Well, I wound up getting myself in, I've never had an anxiety attack before. Anybody ever had those? Long story short, I wound up checking myself in the hospital at about midnight because I can't lay down. I feel like I'm going to suffocate. I can't breathe. I think I'm having a heart attack. And this is down in the Bahamas, so you know it's a really good hospital. The like the back of somebody's van. Except not as nice, okay? So there I am, they got me hooked up to all these things, and I'm calling my wife on the phone because I'm thinking I may die. That might be it. And sure enough, 3 or 4 hours later, I finally calmed down, my blood pressure came down again, and ready for the next few weeks. Every time I even thought about it, or I started to look at the video, I'd start feeling that again, that anxiety. Make a long story short, I was talking to my Tai Chi teacher what I should do. He says, you know what? Why don't you go, put it up on YouTube so that the organizer can see it, and just go through like second by second and make notes on when everything happens so you can show them. Great idea. So I do it, and of course I'm feeling anxious again, and as I finish it, I'm going, he won. I go, wait a second. I went back to the beginning again and watched it 3 times. He won every single time. I had done something before that I had miscounted something on it. So here I went through all this, thinking that I was dying, thousands of dollars in the hospital and everything, and it wasn't true, was it? It's all inside your mind. And so many things that affect us, they're just thoughts. Have you ever had that happen to you? Somebody did something to you, sold something, lied, said something nasty about you, you got all upset, then you found out that you were wrong? Oh, that wasn't you? That was Bobby Sue? Oh, there it is. Like my wife and I have this thing that if we can't find something that's valuable, we have to accuse somebody before we can find it. It's just like, I know Jenica came in here and she took that last up money off the other. Oh, there it is. Okay, there. And it's unbelievable. It happens like every time. And I have a saying that came up years ago, and if I thought about this weekend, when I went through all the stress, is that when you can't find something, if it isn't where it has to be where it can't be. And I can't tell you how many times I found stuff and going, there's no possible way that it's it. Oh, gee, how'd that get there? Oh yeah, I was weighing myself, right? So remember that. If it can't be where it has to be where it can't be. That'll be fine stuff. Or somebody stole it, then you can find it. Okay? Right. Jenica's friends were here last night. They must have, oh, okay, there it is. Right. Those little stupid things, but they are true. Right. Anybody else have things that, when we talk about physical things, man, I remember when I first got married, I got married out of college the first time, and got married the week after we graduated because I figured, hey, I've already experienced everything that life has to offer. What a dork, huh? Too young. Nice woman, wonderful woman, but just too young. It's still too hot here, isn't it? Is it getting better at all? Did this do any good whatsoever? Look. Don't eat on my back. I'm not finished. Boy, I hate it when the audience finishes before I do. So, we moved to Atlanta, no money, no nothing, one job between the two of us, moved up there. About a week after we moved up there, I'm combing my hair, and there's a spot about that big, no hair. Oh wow, it's been a wild bachelor party. Well, about a week later, it was about that big. It went up getting the size of a silver dollar right there, no hair whatsoever. Went up getting another one over here, another one back here, one over there. I mean, it looked like alien crop circles. And I'd run out of ways that I could part my hair. And I tried everything. I tried cortisone shots, somebody said that'd work, and special soaps, nothing happened. 3 years after I got married, I got divorced, grew back. Now, I'm not saying that's a solution for some of you guys here. Don't want you to go, come on, go home, and honey, I'm leaving you, but I'm gonna look at that. Isn't that amazing though? Your hair just falls out, from that. Grinding teeth. She said she had an ulcer. Okay? Why don't you let it get to you too much? You're getting an ulcer over it?
Well, it's not so much my job as my 14-year-old.
Oh, your 14-year-old, yeah. Hey, ship them off to Nebraska.
Actually,
Or Oklahoma.
They've already revised that law. We talked about it.
All right. Well, I remember one time a wise person said, you got to realize that children come through you and not from you. Right? And so many times, well, they came from me, they have to be this way. No, they just kind of came through you. Yes. There's only so much you can do with kids, right? We had 5 kids in my family, all 5 of us completely different people. And my parents raised all 5 of us the same exact way. My 2 daughters, completely different, we raised them exactly the same. One of them can't hold on to money, and one of them saved every penny they ever had. Matter of fact, I found a wallet in the house, not mine, a few months ago, and I'm looking at my youngest daughter, and said, you know whose wallet this is? This yours? She goes, well, just look in the money department. There's money and it's mine, there's receipts, it's Jenica's. Oh, good sense of humor, I like that. And that's true. And raise them both the exact same way. So, just getting too hot here, huh? Okay. Oh, wait. Why did that air conditioner kick it back on? And you got a sweater on, are you freezing?
I'm not freezing.
You're just ready to take everything off? Okay. I'm just trying to keep the heat off me with my sweater. But anybody else today? Your stomach aches, back aches, tension.
Your hands. Hand cramps.
Hand cramps. Okay. That could just be getting older. I get those now too. Or hands shaking. Right? Nervousness. And I'm just telling you, most of it is inside your head. And just realizing that, what was it that Abraham Lincoln said, and this too shall pass? James, how many things have you ever had happen to you when you were younger that you thought were just so important or so bad or whatever, and then now you look back on them and you go, there was nothing. Thank you for the input, James. Give that 80 years of wisdom. I remember one time my Aunt Marge was like about 94, and I was driving her to see one of her friends in the hospital. I said, well, this would be a good time to really connect with Aunt Marge. And I said, well, Aunt Marge, you've been in New York City all your life. I mean, back when they had horse and buggies, before the car was even invented, and through cars and airplanes, and even man landing on the moon now. I said, what do you think of it? It was nice. Thank you. Can I write that down? I'm eating something. And my kids don't want to hear anything that I have to say, so. But really, just finding the humor in things. So if you can just laugh at yourself, laugh at the ridiculousness of things, it just helps you deal with that stress so much better. You know, how many times have you been taking a deposition and you're just looking at the people just going, man, am I glad I'm not you? You ever take a deposition, just want to come home and just hug your family? Come here. I love you people. Really, because you have to deal with the dark side of life a lot, don't you? I mean, nobody's ever in front of you because they want to tell you how wonderful the other person is. You know, my wife and I truly love each other, and we just wanted to really express our deep love for each other, and wanted to have a court reporter take it down. You had your hand raised?
It's so nice that my friend from Arizona came to court report from Dallas, is doing a depot, and she heard the guy say, nothing is certain in life but death, taxes, and change. She wrote death, axes, and chains.
I think she was kind of programmed to hear that.
Maybe it's an Arizona thing, I don't know.
I could say that. Yeah, death and taxes are only things that are certain. But you know, I truly believe we're not put on this earth to make a living. We're put here to create a life. And so many of us forget that along the way. You know, find the things that you can make a priority to having a great life. How many people like to travel? Do you do it? Yeah. I have people go, well, we just, just can't figure out how to do it. If you write down this website, I always give this every year, clarkhoward.com. Clark Howard, C-L-A-R-K-H-O-W-A-R-D. You know Clark, is he?
He's on the radio.
He's on the radio, yes. He's syndicated probably over here. He's the cheapest man on earth. And every Friday he has his Friday flyer, and they get some deal to somewhere. Now what he does, he only flies when there is a deal. You know, when they got some special deal, he'll go there. If it's someplace he hasn't been before. But he can tell you the cheapest, fastest ways to fly, to go places. He can tell you the best places to get credit cards, best places to save money for your kids' college. He doesn't get a penny from anybody for anything. It's all, he's a multi-millionaire, doesn't need the money, doesn't need the sponsors for it. everything that he does is to help the people that are listening to the station. We have gotten some fantastic vacations. We went to Paris, round trip, $250 each. The kids were like $159. Right? A couple years ago, we went to Utah for skiing for Christmas. I thought at 53 would be a great idea to learn how to ski. It wasn't. It was like $79 in Atlanta round trip for the airline tickets. I cashed in my Holiday Inn miles. We stayed at the Holiday Inn for free for 5 of the 7 days. Stayed at another one that we had a discount from Clark Howard for like $49 a night. That was nice. And the whole vacation with rotator cuff surgery, $22,000. It would have been more. That was one of those weird things. I was doing good with my lessons and stuff. And the last day, my daughter and I decided it was really crowded. So we sent my wife and youngest daughter over. They wanted to go on the bunny slope. It was like a 45-minute wait to go on for like 30 seconds going down. So my daughter, my older daughter, and I, being the smart people, said, well, why wait on that for 45 minutes, go down for 30 seconds? This one has a small line on it. We'll wait like 5 minutes to get to ski down for like a minute and a half. And we skied on that in our practice thing the other day. That was our advanced bunny slope. And I came over the hill, and I was just like, and I mean, there was an area like 3-4 times as wide as this room to ski down. Nobody on it except one lady over there. I hit it. It was like a magnet. I just kind of like ran over the back of skis. She fell backwards. I stuck my hand out, of course, which is the one thing they tell you not to do. And tore it back like that. She's going, you ski much? What was your first clue? Now the weird thing is, a year later, I finally had my rotator cuff surgery, and I'm walking through the mart in Atlanta with my youngest daughter, and there's a lady there, oh, what happened? I said, oh yeah, I hurt myself skiing, you know, oh yeah, I did that too. Yeah. When it happened, so last Christmas, and, oh really, where? Oh, we were in Utah. Really, me too. And I knew if she asked me one more question, it was going to be, we ran out of there. But when you look at life, you look at the stuff that's happened to you, and again, later on down the road, how many times have you had something that was supposed to be the best thing that ever happened? You get that perfect vacation plan, the thing just turns into vacation from hell. Right? Or there's something you thought was really going to be bad, and it turned out to be the best thing ever. Wow, this opportunity, you couldn't believe it. You had something canceled. I remember a woman telling me stories, it's like so bizarre. She said, I went to visit my cousin, and I was supposed to go on this vacation to Europe with my other cousin, but I got sick. I just didn't feel like going. I went to go see my cousin in Minneapolis. One of her friends that was leaving the next day stopped by the house to visit and say goodbye to her. We went up starting to talking and wound up getting married. We've been married for 20 years. You know, the timing on that, how's that happen? Like I always like to tell my kids, like I grew up in New York. In New York, you have 2 different types of diplomas. Regents, which means you go to college. General, which means you go, would you like fries with that? Okay. So I just missed getting a Regents diploma, and in New York, you can't go to college in New York without a Regents diploma, so you got to go out of state. So I went to Miami-Dade Junior College, because it was almost as hard as summer school. But the thing in Florida was, if you graduated from a junior college, they had to let you into a senior college. And you could stay there as long as you kept above a C average, and I was able to knock down that solid C+ average. Graduated, met Sydney, who I told you about. Well, she was a singer. And when we moved to Atlanta, she had a girls group. And Diane Pfeiffer was a local singer-songwriter. And they had done a demo of her song. So they invited her and her boyfriend of 6 years out to listen to them do the number. And they wound up sitting them with my wife, Cindy, and I. So we started talking. Well, back then I was an amateur magician who would pretty much bore the death out of anybody that would sit there long enough. So before long, I had my cards and coins out, and I'd make a coin vanish, and Diane was like the first person to believe it. Right? Now I'd make a coin disappear, and she'd go, oh my God, where'd it go? Disappeared. Vanished. Or I'd find that card, and she'd go, oh my God, you're reading my mind. Yes. To a space. So we started talking, and this was like back in the mid-70s, and what did you talk about in the 70s? You meet somebody new, you know, what's your sign? Well, it turns out that Diane and I are both have the same birthday, a year apart. And my wife and her boyfriend Steve both have the same birthday. So what's the chances of 4 people at one table sharing the same birthday? So 8 years later, after I'm divorced, I'm at the punchline, and I'm supposed to feature that night. So I got the MC, the feature, and the headliner. Well, something got mixed up, and I got to MC that night. And it's on my birthday. So I'm getting ready to go on stage. Waitress comes up, hands me a note, and says, "Would you please announce that it's Diane Pfeiffer's birthday?" Because the MC is the one that has to do the announcements. I went, "Diane Pfeiffer?" I said, "That's got to be that same woman that I met," because it said she was a recording artist and stuff. So yeah, okay, so I get out there, and I'm in the middle of my first little bit, and I look, and there's 2 women sitting right over there, and look at the blonde one. I said, "That could possibly be her." I said, "Well, I'll know, because at the end of my first trick, I used to take this little cigarette, put it in my hand, and it would vanish." So I get to the end of it, I put the cigarette in my hand, boom, it's gone. And she, in the middle of the crowd, yells out, "Oh my God, where did it go?" Okay, that's got to be her. And I look at her and said, "Your name is Diane, isn't it?" She goes, "Oh my God, he's reading my mind." So we started talking afterwards and wound up dating long distance. I was in New York, she was down in Atlanta. Actually, I was living in New Jersey, and I just couldn't ask a woman that I loved and respected to move to New Jersey. So eventually I moved to Atlanta, we got married, had 2 kids. And I always like to tell my kids, because if you think about it, I couldn't go to school in New York, so I had to go to school in Florida, where I met Sydney, got married, and met Diane. And all that happened, and wound up becoming a comedian out of that. And once in a while, I look at my kids and say, you know, they'll say, "Well, you're not that smart." You know, I said, "Hey, if I was a little smarter, you wouldn't be here today." But you never know, do you? Because all along the way, there was these things that would be perceived as bad things. I couldn't get to school in New York, so I had to leave all my friends, my family. Right? I got divorced. Oh, boy. Failure. Wonderful woman, couldn't make that work. I'm at the club that night. I'm supposed to be the feature act for the first time. I'm moving up in the comedy club. I got stuck with MC. And I wouldn't have been the one to make the announcement. I would have been upstairs and never even heard. So you never know. And I probably told this story to some of you before, but I always love to tell it again, because it just drives the point home about the farmer that had the donkey did all the work on his farm. One day a big storm comes up. Donkey gets hit by a bolt of lightning, dies. Neighbor comes over and says, "Wow, that's going to be the worst thing that's ever happened." We said, "Well, we'll see." Well, it turned out that all the neighbors felt so bad for him, they chipped in and bought him a younger, stronger donkey. Neighbor comes back and says, "Aha, that is going to be the best thing that's ever happened to you." Yeah, we'll see. Well, 2 days later, his oldest son's working with it, his only son's working with the donkey. Donkey kicks him in the leg, breaks his leg. Now he has to do all the work on the farm himself. Neighbor goes back, "Oh, now that has got to be the worst thing that's ever happened to you." And that's wrong. We'll see. 2 weeks later, the army comes to his small village, taking all the young men off to war. They can't take his son, because he's got a broken leg. You never know, do you? So, and the thing is not to get attached to these things. So what I'm saying is when stuff comes up, it looks like it's going to be bad, it looks like it's going to be good, whatever, just keep that out there going, we'll see, because you don't know. That's the next time something looks like it's going to be bad, what are you going to say? Yeah, I was hoping 80 of you would say. Next time something looks like it's going to be bad, what are you going to say? We'll see. What if it looks like it's going to be good? We'll see. Great. Will you use it? We'll see. You laugh, but I get so many emails from people that say, "You know, I just thought that was some dumb thing that you said in class," and sure enough, I had something come up about a week ago, and I started to get angry about it, and I just said, "We'll see. We'll see." And it turned out to be something that turned out to be a real benefit for me. You just never, ever know. The same thing, if you put your hopes on something great happening, like my wife and I will plan to go out to the movies on a Friday. Now, if our desires are all dependent on, "Oh, we're going to have a great time, you know, we deserve that, we get to go out," and all of a sudden the kids get sick, something happens. But instead of having that desire, we just have the intention. It's like the intent, well, we intend to go out Friday, something may come up. You know, if nothing comes up, we'll go out and have a great time. Right? So, intentions as opposed to desires. But just try that. Sometime the next week you see something coming up, we'll see. I'm even at that point when I get stuck in traffic, because I always think everything's happening for the best reason for me, you know? That if somebody's slowing me down, I don't make it through a light, well, maybe that's keeping me from getting in an accident at the next light or the next stop sign. Or every time I get angry at somebody for doing something stupid in traffic, you find this, that within a few minutes you'll do something of either equal or greater stupidity. All the time. But I can't be that schmuck, you know, cut over the lane without the blinker on. You know, 2 minutes later I'm running a stop sign. Oh my God, what am I doing? You know? It's just, we'll see. When I have somebody following me too close in traffic being an idiot, I just move over. I could go on. It's not worth it. Because you don't know how bad a day that person's had until you two have met, do you? I've seen people do some crazy things in cars. I think some people get out of a car with a crowbar and start banging in the other car because they just had something horrible happen to them and this was the straw that broke their back. I'm just like, I always think that they're late for the mental institution. I'm like, oh, you know, man. You know, the last time I let my ego get in the way, somebody was driving behind me with their lights on, going through New York, we're going up towards Harlem, and they finally passed me, and I got my sister in the car with me going, well, I'm going to show them, and got on their tail with my lights on, and I don't know if it was just something that came up from the road or whatever, but something hit my windshield and cracked the windshield. I go, oh great, that's going to be $400 out of my pocket, you know, but is my ego feeling better now? Now I feel like a total schmuck, okay? Just let them go, let them get back to their mental institution, get out of their way, just let them go. It really doesn't pay. But humor pays, doesn't it? So we're going to go to create your own captions here. There's 4 cartoons there. Now these are the rules, is that you can make anybody in those cartoons anybody you want. So in the top left panel with the guy with the stick and the guy sitting down, one of those could be a judge, they could be a defendant, they could be a lawyer, they could be a tax person, they could be a court reporter, anything. Same thing in every other one of them. Here's a guy talking to somebody who's like a fortune teller. What would a court reporter or an attorney or a judge or defendant, whoever, want to know about something in the future? Okay, so take your time and write at least 2 humorous things for any. So 1 humorous thing for 1 cartoon, 1 humorous thing for another. You notice I'm not saying funny. Very rarely do you read a cartoon and it's just like, oh my God, it's just humorous. But the rules are, it has to be something that any court reporter can get. So if you're here with people from your office, you can't have an inside joke and go, that's Bonnie and that's Terry. And you two get it and nobody else goes, Bonnie and Terry, what? So you just got to make it people that anybody can relate to. Put it this way, if after about 3 minutes you don't have anything on the paper, you're trying way too hard. The worst thing you ever write down is better than the best thing you never write down. So take a chance, write something down. Remember, if you don't want to read it, you don't have to. It's kind of like me shooting at the shooting range. If I totally miss the bullseye, who cares? Nobody's ever going to see that target but me. But at least I pulled the trigger. So pull the trigger, write something down there. And if you care to share it later on, you can, and possibly win prizes. I did say possibly, right?
You said 2 things?
Put that little caveat in there.
I think 1 for each cartoon.
I'm done. No, I don't want to do it. I'm not doing them at all. I gotta go to the bathroom. Bring me a
It does. What all them got to do with money?
Yeah, I'm not good at this.
Nice. Clever.
Yeah, but then we took an hour lunch. We were the last ones. We are.
Yeah, right? That was an idea.
Okay, got one more minute. That's what I like to hear.
I like that one.
Okay, I think everybody who's gonna do it's done it. Usually the conclusion at this point, and actually I looked around, I saw a lot of people that did do it, so that's great to see you put an effort there. Who has one for the top left? Sam.
Dance for your bonus.
Dance for your bonus. Okay, good. Oh, by the way, we have a rule here. Every time one of you guys says something like that, everybody applauds and laughs for them. Okay, great. Not for me, but for you guys. All right, who yelled out over here?
No, what was his?
His was dance for your bonus. Well, you know what? Let's pass the mic around so people can hear. Who wants to do one from over here? Okay. Hey, just pass it down.
Act like a monkey and I'll give you a suburban job on Monday.
Anybody else? Top left. Top left, or we have one over here?
Now will you have that transcript done by 9 a.m. tomorrow?
Little bribery never hurts, right? Now we have the transcript done by 9 a.m. Anybody else? On this side, yeah. You're kicking your butts over here, okay? Sam's the only one that's doing anything over here. Come on. He's keeping this place afloat. Here we go. Of course, from this side over here. Let me get over here with the mic. Grab that, baby.
Let's talk about your page rate.
Let's talk about your page rate, okay? All right, so top right. There we have the fortune teller, and we have the person looking concerned. What's going on there? Okay, all the way over here. You go past that.
Oh, this one.
Please tell me I'm not going back on the trial where they're suing those molecular biologists from outer Mongolia.
It's a little problem with the translation there, huh? Who else? Top right. All right, we got one from the left side again.
What do you mean you see me working more hours and making less money?
Who else? Top right. Yes. Okay. Just do it when I was over. You use the mic so.
Is there an agency out there that I'm not on the COD list?
I'm glad to see you use the microphone so well. Okay. Anybody else? Top right. Joe?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the second. Yeah, I see an original 5 copies in your future.
Who doesn't want to see that? Nothing, ladies? Nothing?
No.
You got nothing? Okay.
I got something, but I don't want to say.
Okay, that's okay. At first say yours. There you go. All right, bottom left. We got 2 people outside the building. Looks like they got money in the hat. Yes, okay, right over here.
Oh, look, here comes our court reporter.
Over here, okay.
I make more money with this weekend gig than I do with my court job.
It beats working for a living.
So I told you that the court reporter license would pay off. Okay. Who else? Bottom left. Who's right here?
People clearly hate you.
They hate you. You have no money. Okay, bottom right. We have nobody else here. Bottom right.
Bottom right.
I got one.
You do? Back to Sam.
He's got ants in his pants.
Who else? Bottom right. Is a guy jumping off a desk or flying or landing on the desk. Wait.
I wrote, look who won the lottery.
Guess who won the lottery? Yes, back here. You and Joe keeping this side going here.
Somebody pissed me off.
Can you help me get his attention? I told him he was safe from the layoff, but the email was really meant for you.
Anybody else bottom right? Over here? Okay. That ways, it's the same people every time. It might be the 80-20 rule.
This is more for attorneys than court reporters necessarily, but we just got fired by that pain in the ass, Mr. Peterson.
Yay! No more Peterson. Anybody else? Give yourselves a nice round of applause. All right, great. All right. Here we go. Yeah, we're always talking about humor that other people can use, right? But I mean, this is a great way to just add a little humor to something that causes you, might cause you stress. How can you use a cartoon to help get across some of the feelings that you're going with? You can put those up at work, stuff like that. Or how many of you like me all the time on the phone trying to get a hold of people that aren't there? Right? And now through the magic of voicemail, don't you feel blessed when you get a human being to leave a message with?
Yeah.
See, I think most people miss it. Most people call up and go, hello, is Bob there? No, I'm sorry, he won't be back the next week. Oh, man, he's never there. Well, guess I'll call back. Me, I try to get that person to laugh a little. I'll call up, hello, is Bob there? No, I'm sorry, he won't be back the next week. Okay, I'll hold. One time I had one person go, okay. But now when I call back, that person's going to remember me as somebody that made their day a little better, not a little worse, right? You're trying to get through those gatekeepers and secretaries and receptionists that are in charge of you getting your check, maybe from the lawyers. Or you get a secretary or receptionist online, they always ask you the same thing, don't they? Well, who are you with? Well, I'm just at my desk for myself, but hey, thanks for asking. A little humor, right? How about doing something nice and unexpected, right? How about holding the elevator door for someone that doesn't expect it? Because I know you're a wonderful, loving group of people, but be honest, we all know that there's that certain distance If somebody's that far from the elevator, you're like, I don't think so. Or next time you get on the elevator, there's just one person, get on, just stand right next to him. Hi. They will get off on the next floor, okay? Well, how many of you like me been in some place like Kmart? Somebody comes up, asks you that magic question. Do you work here? I see that as an opportunity. Why, yes, I do work here. What can I do for you? How much is this toaster? $1. Get some for the kinfolk, what the heck? But remember when we used to think being stressed out was when you didn't have time to go out for a nice sit-down lunch like we had today, right? Wind up going to a fast food place to eat, and now we don't even have time to go inside. You go through the drive-thru, no, give me food, give me food. They always have that crummy microphone system. Next time you go through and they go, hello, can I take a order, please? Yes, I'd like to get a... and a cherry pie. See, now you laugh, but I did that last week. The woman came back and said, that'd be $4.95. Drive around to the front. How do they know, right? Now, I don't know how it is at the grocery store here is now, but in Atlanta, they won't even take your credit card from you anymore. You got to run it through that little box yourself. I shopped last week, ran the card through, it was like $95 or something. And all of a sudden I look, this little sign pops up next to it and says, is this amount okay? I didn't know I had an option. I'm like, no. Because sometimes you just got to see what's going to happen, right? I put in like 50 cents. It was great. Got to meet the manager. A couple of security guards. You know. Well, how about this? Right? You go back to work. Yeah, I finished your damn transcript. Hey, no problem. 5 pots of coffee, I knocked that baby out. You didn't settle, did you? I wouldn't be happy if you settled. I know you got a lawyer that you're friendly with. Go in the office with these babies in, go, do you handle those laser eye surgery cases? I got me a doozy. I got to tell you though, that should not be done in the back of a pickup truck. I don't care if you have a Groupon, don't do it. I know you come out of the employee snack area. Man, someone has got to fix the door on that microwave. That's a hazard, I'll tell you right now. Or you stay in a nice hotel, first thing in the morning, go down to the front desk. Man, you got to back off the chlorine in that pool. I know you go out to lunch with a friend, right? Look up, go, woo, that's hot sauce. Oh, man. That just ain't right. Some spicy Thai chicken, I'll tell you that, man. Or I fly a lot, so what I'll do is wait till the plane gets up in the air, flight attendant comes up, I'll slap these in, you know. Is it a little dry in here to you? I could use some saline, but it's my check luggage. Now these are actually the professional models too. They glow in the dark. I got a chance to try them out at my youngest daughter, her 10th birthday party. Had a bunch of giggly girls there. 3 o'clock in the morning, they're still going strong. I've already told them 20 times to go to bed. They're still laughing and carrying on. I said, okay, I can play this game. Went upstairs, got my eyeballs, slapped those babies in. Came downstairs, opened up that door, pitch black. I said, sleep. Right out. And they haven't been back since. Well, how about this? Someday you got the day off? Go apply for a job you don't want. Like go down to local Home Depot, you know. So, you dudes serious about the drug test thing? I love power tools. We're looking for the humor, looking for the laughter. That's what we're looking for. Instead of, you know, down south you get like women, especially older women, like, they don't want to laugh. They like cover their mouth. I had one woman coming up at a program in Atlanta, swear to God, says to me, it was all I could do to keep from laughing while you were up there. It's like a nurse coming up going, it was all I could do to keep from giving you oxygen while you were having a heart attack. But I managed to hold myself back. You ever get stressed out from somebody trying to pay you a compliment? I had this old lady come up to me one time and said, anybody ever tell you you look like Louis Grizzard? You know, the columnist that died a few years ago? I'm like, well, thank you very much, but I always thought Louis was heavier in the face than I am. She goes, oh no. So I mean towards the end when he was sick. Thank you, ma'am, just keep moving. Or the young guy come up and go, man, you look like that dude on TV. I said, yeah, I hear it all the time. Who, Jeff Foxworthy? Geraldo? No. He goes, no, the neighbor on The Simpsons. Dookly to you too, pal. Looking for the laughter. Now you've already created some laughter. You're going to have your chance right now to create some more laughter. Okay? So for our last big project of the day, that means when this is done, we're done. Okay. Grab a cookie, hit the bus, go home. Every other row, turn around and face the row behind you. So this row, turn your chairs around, face them, and on down the line. So if you're the odd one, just keep turning around. No, you guys face them. Every other row. Yeah, I know you want to face them. All right, so you should be facing them over there. Same thing, you turn around and face them. Then they are wrong. Because they should be facing them. Do you have less tables than they do? Is somebody left alone? You guys don't have anybody. I know what we're doing. Okay, so you all move forward, join this table, and you guys join them. And you're the left out group here, just you four. So you all turn around and face those folks there, and you and you here come and join this table, and the other two join this table over here. Okay? Remember, as soon as you're done, we get to go. You're going to have to move your chairs over. Just grab some chairs. It's good. You guys turn around and face them. So you're going to have to come over here, or else you're just going to be at the back of their heads. Okay. All right, one more. Gray sweater. Gray sweater. You're with them. Yeah. And so you two just move your chair so you're over there with them and actually part of the group. And you can take a chair from over here too. You don't have to take your personal chair. All right, we need one person in each group to volunteer to be the group leader. And remember, volunteers many times in my programs are rewarded. Have you decided? Oh, you know what we're going to do here? You know what? This is the perfect size here. Right, see where my arm is? You're one group here. You guys there from Daniel over our group. This side's a group here, and this side's another group. Same thing over on this side is... Okay, you know what? You're going to be with them here. So this group here, right here. See where I am? So you're that group over there. You're that group there, you're that group there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 groups, right? Is that correct? You should have more than that. Yeah, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 groups. All right. So we need one person in each one of those small groups now to volunteer to be the group leader. So hurry up and decide that. I'm going to ask you in a moment who it is. Remember, volunteers sometimes are rewarded in my classes. All right, group, have you decided on your group leader? Group leader, raise your right hand high up in the air. We cannot continue until we have all of our group leaders. All right, group leaders, all raise your right hand. All right, so everybody put your hands down. Let's try this one more time. All right, when I say go, all the group leaders raise your right hand high up in the air. Go. Okay. Reach over, touch the shoulder of the person closest to you on your right or across from you. You have now picked our new group leader. Didn't I mention volunteers get rewarded in my program? Nope, you're one group over there and you're one group over here. All right. So group leaders, you will be the only people that are writing right now. Everybody else will be helping you, but you will be the only one that has to write anything down. So, let me show you this. And everybody's seen that David Letterman show or heard about it. They're famous for the top 10 list. We're going to teach you how to write a top 5 list eventually. Group leaders, where are you? All right, look at me. The part that you're going to be writing in now is the bottom where it says work area. Don't write any place else except the work area. Okay? So the people that are next to them, when they start writing up here, which they will, tell them to stop and write down here. And then they'll try to write back up there again and go, no, down here in the work area. And then I'll walk around later on and see how many people wrote up here so I can have a good laugh. Okay? Because everybody always does. So, what you want to do is, first of all, I am going to give you, whose is this? Did I take yours? So, we need some topics here. And I have some specially selected for this group here. Is in a top 10 list, what we do is first we come up with a subject. So in this case, our subjects are going to be the top 5 things you would never ever hear from. Okay, and I'm going to fill in the blank from here. So if we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 groups. Okay, so this group here is going to be the top. And you don't say, well, I don't do trials and stuff. Somebody in your group does, or you can just make it up because you've seen enough cop shows and trial shows in your life. So this group here is going to be the top 5 things you never hear from a jury. This group here is going to be top 5 things you never hear from a judge. This group here is going to be judge and jury. All right? This group here is going to be top 5 things you never hear from a bailiff. And this group is top 5 things you never hear from a court reporter.
Okay, are we ready?
This is going to be court reporter over here. This is going to be bailiffs over here. And this is going to be top 5 things you never hear from a lawyer. Top 5 things you never hear from a defendant. And this group here is also going to be top 5 things you never hear from a lawyer. So, what area we're going to work in? The work area. Now listen to me. What you want to do is write down as many things as you can. Now eventually we're going to narrow it down. So you want to come up with 10, 15 things if you can. Remember, right, everybody quiet for a second for the people that haven't heard this before. Everybody? Everybody? Including you? Okay, yes. So, first of all, remember these are things that you would never, ever, ever hear from your situation, okay? But don't be anal about it. Don't go, well, actually one time I did hear a lawyer. Okay. So, and remember, in this case, sarcasm really helps. So, you got to be clean, but sarcasm really helps. So these are the things you'd never ever hear. Like, just for an example, let's say lawyers. You never hear a lawyer go, oh, that machine looks heavy. Could I carry it to your car for you? Now, one of you are going to go, well, one time, I was wearing this really hot skirt and this one, Okay, go.
We quit. Never, ever again.
I know. Like, something's never true, like you're saying.
Good, Sam. Your Honor, up yours. Your Honor, good, Sam. Let's get the humor in here, right? Or should I put it? But that's all right. You said you wanted to go. Yours an exclamation.
10 or 15. Yeah, then we're going to narrow it down later on. That's why you're not writing the top part right now.
Jeff, you just went top 5?
10 or 15.
10 or 15, okay. 10 or 15. All right, let's go. All right.
As many as you can.
Time on that, I don't need
Sam, keep it rolling. It's trying for my life. Oh, we said it?
It's great.
Oh, yeah, we did. I'm going. That's going on. Yeah, we are. Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm trying to check in.
They want it right there. But they're right there.
Yes.
More, Mike, more things. Come on.
Yeah, we got him, Jeff.
The most creative people in this place.
We went right down the line. You kept the humorous as we could.
Do you have fighting sarcasm? Do you have your punch card at the end?
Everything in there. Jury.
Do they like to do that? See, what we never hear them say is
Yeah, we just missed it.
All right, attention everybody. Now for the next part. Focus. The sooner we're quiet, the sooner we get out of here. I've never seen it go that quiet in my entire life. All right, so now we got to get the egos out of the way, and as a group, you got to pick your 5 best ones. So just put a mark by them. Don't rewrite them. Just put a mark by what's your 5 best. If you have 10 of them, mark your 5 best. Just say, that's a good one, that's a good one, that's a good one, that's a good one. Okay, do you have that done? All right, so one more time, pay attention. It's the last time you have to pay attention to me for a while. All right, so in a top 10 list or top 5 list, the way that you work it is that it's always a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The last one, which is number what? 1, is your funniest one. The first one, which is number 5, is your second funniest one. And then the 3 in the middle, just any order at all. So in show business, you always want to start big, finish bigger. So as a group now, just number your 5 that you've picked as the funniest one, the second funniest one, 1 and 5, and then the 3 in the middle. And then start thinking about somebody in your group who would be willing to read yours if called upon to do so. All right, if your group has identified the positioning of your top 5, raise your hand, group leader. So you got 1 or 2 groups that still need some more time, right? So you guys don't have it done yet? Oh, I mean, wait, let's do it this way. If your group still needs more time, raise your right hand. Good. All right, so the people who have decided that they might be willing to read yours have called upon that one person from each group go outside the door there. So in about 30 seconds, I should have 11 people out there and everybody else here talking amongst themselves.
That's going to read them?
Yes. So bring it with you. Go on out there.
Oh my God, and I just do you know, for like 3 years they didn't call me, and now they start calling in, and it was last year, oh my God,
I knew this. They were always
All right, so bring everybody else back in with you. You know, just come on in back in as a group. Okay, come on down here. All the readers up this way. So we should have how many of you, like? Are there 7 groups? 1, 2, 3.
We just combined ours.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of you. Any other readers? Okay, come join us. All right, so you come over here. And,
Got it.
all right, and who do you have?
Lawyers.
You know, we don't put lawyers at the end because that's always a good sarcastic one. Okay, so go to your line. Allison, come on up here. Stand up here. Did we lose Joe? Is Joe wandering around somewhere?
I'm with Joe. I got the jury.
Okay, we got Joe taken care of.
Joe's taken care of.
We got an ankle cuff on him. We'll eventually find him. Okay. And you have
Floor's not made of sponge.
court reporters. So this is actually the first time for doing court reporters in this. And the last class, last seminar we did bailiffs for the first time. They had some pretty good stuff. So I said, you know what? We never have court reporters poking fun at themselves. So let's find out. Here we go. The Jeff Justice Comedy Workshop. The top 5 things you'll never hear from those wacky court reporters.
Number 5.
And number 5 is...
Make as many copies as you want for everyone.
Number 1 is applaud after that. All right, the number 4 thing you're never going to hear from a court reporter is...
I don't need to write, my audio got it all.
Everybody got it. The number 3 thing you're never going to hear from a court reporter is...
I'd love to read that back.
I've been taking theater. The number 2 thing that you're never going to hear from a court reporter is...
I got paid too much for that transcript.
Can I give you some cash back? Would that be okay? And the number 1 thing you're never ever going to hear from a court reporter in the state of Illinois is...
No, I don't need a break. I have my catheter.
Big round of applause. Okay. I go back to the end of the line there. That's the kind of stuff you don't learn in court reporter school, right? Okay, come on down. And what group do you have? All right, we have Joyce here with the top 5 things you're never, ever going to hear from a bailiff. Number 5 being...
Stay seated, dishonorable judge presiding.
Please. Okay. Number 4 thing you're never going to hear is...
Your Honor, I lost a prisoner. I think he's smoking.
He's somewhere, I'm sure. Number 3 thing you're never going to hear from the bailiff is...
That was so interesting, I stayed awake.
They don't nap, do they? Number 2 thing you're never going to hear from a bailiff is...
This judge likes to work late.
Because this one especially likes to work late. And the number 1 thing, everybody focus on the person that's up here. The number 1 thing you're never going to hear from a bailiff is...
Do you want to hold my gun? It's fully loaded.
Thanks, dude. All right, come on down here. Are we doing tag team here? We got tag team here, okay. And you guys have...
The jury.
The jury. Because, you know, stand over here. Okay, so here we go. Get you in here too. Okay. Here we are. The top 5 things you're never, ever going to hear from a jury is...
Your Honor, up yours.
Guess that's why they wear those dresses. I don't know. Okay. The number 4 thing is...
Your Honor, we would like to stay longer if we could.
Please. The number 3 thing you're never going to hear from a jury is...
What do you mean overruled?
Who's in charge here, huh? Number 2 thing you're never going to hear from a jury?
Your Honor, you were sleeping.
Try to keep it up here. Focus, focus, people. And the number 1 thing you're never going to hear from a jury is...
Wonder what's under the robe.
Don't we all? I'll go back over here to the end there. All right, come on down, and you have... Defendant, okay. They never come up with anything good. Defendants, I mean, they're pretty straightforward, aren't they? What's the number 5 thing you're never going to hear from a defendant?
My mother made me do it.
She's evil. Mommy's evil. Now, number 4 thing you're never going to hear from a defendant is?
The plaintiff deserves the money.
Double it. What the heck? Number 3 thing you're never going to hear from a defendant is?
Can I have the number or a date with the court reporter?
Number 2 thing you're never going to hear from a defendant is?
Can I design my own jail suite?
I got some fabulous ideas. And the number 1 thing you're never ever going to hear from a defendant in the state of Illinois is?
Well, this was fun. Can we do it again?
And you know what? I think we will be. Who's next?
Are we done?
Who's left? No?
Oh, just me then.
Did you go yet?
I didn't go yet.
Okay, you come on down.
Okay.
And who do you have?
Judges.
Judges. Here we are, the top 5 things you're never, ever going to hear from a judge. Number 5 being...
I need a new robe.
Yes, this one's kind of... doesn't go with my black shoes. Number 4 thing you're never going to hear from a judge is...
You want to see what's under my robe?
Well, the jury was wondering. The number 3 thing you're never going to hear from a judge is...
You want to switch seats?
It's awful high up here. I get nosebleeds. Number 2 thing you're never going to hear from a judge is...
I need an assistant for this one. Can I have an assistant? Not you, Joe.
Anybody but Joe, is what she said. Here we go. The number 2 thing you're never going to hear from a judge is...
Are those real?
How sexist that you wouldn't use Jim. I'm offended personally. And the number 1 thing you're never going to hear from a judge is...
My pants are at the cleaners.
Oh, now we know what's under the robe. Okay. And here we are, last but not least, the top 5 things you're never going to hear from a lawyer. And number 5 is...
You poor thing, you need a vacation.
Talking to the court reporter, that's so sweet of them. Number 4 thing you're never going to hear from a lawyer is...
I'm talking way too fast. I'll slow down.
Is that better? Number 3 thing you're never going to hear from those wacky lawyers is...
I wouldn't want you working over the weekend on a transcript.
That's your time. Your personal time. Number 2 thing you never hear from a lawyer is,
Miss Reporter, do you want a more comfortable chair?
just do some Jeff Justice exercises. It's about time, isn't it? You haven't done them for an hour. And the number 1 thing you're never going to hear from a lawyer is...
My client is guilty.
Yeah. Oh, and a slammer. Give a nice round of applause, and we do have party gifts for all of you. Here we go. For volunteering and helping out here, you guys get eyeballs. Okay. There you go. Pass them down. There you go. Everybody get one? Okay, give a nice round of applause again. Thank you. And let's have a nice round of applause for you guys, because you helped write them. So you can make humor out of a difficult situation. You just got to apply yourself. Use your sense of humor. Use your mind. Get out of the box there. Use humor to reduce stress in your life, to help you reframe things. So see them in a humorous way. Because you got the choice in life. You can do it one way or the other. You know? How many times you ever see people that, well, you know what? I got a choice. I can either laugh or cry. And why wouldn't you pick laughter every time? Right? So, gang, thank you so much for coming and spending your hard-earned dollars with us again here. For the new folks, I hope you come back and see us too. So next year, are you coming back? No, don't come back next year. Why? It's the same program, okay? But please tell everybody you know to come in the spring. We're going to have a great program here in the spring. And then we'll be back here in the fall for the people who are starting the, I guess the fall, then we will actually change the program. I don't know, we'll see. 14. We'll have to decide what we're going to do with that. But for the spring, tell your friends to come. And if it is a new program for the fall, I will let you know that on the brochure. Let's see if there's anything else. So, just to get this clear for the people that don't know, because I get a lot of questions about this, the letter that we're going to give you for your completion, you keep in your possession. So if you ever get audited by the state, you can produce the letter. So what happens if you lose a letter? You are so screwed. That's it. Carbonite. Well, that's what you do. Take it home, scan it, and put it up on Carbonite. It will always be there. Yes, obviously, I could go back to the first program you ever took, and I could get your letter for that. The thing is, though, is that people, for some reason, realize they're missing somewhere around December 28th. That's why we never go on vacation during the holidays there, because a lot of the, people's licenses are due December 31st. You guys aren't. You're like other. So it's not you people. Okay, so again, just all it takes is just an email. If you ever email me and I don't email you right back within 24 hours to take care of whatever you asked me about, please email me or call me again. I literally get over 600 pieces of spam daily. Okay, and when I go through my thing, I am just scanning it and scanning it and scanning it. And if I don't, I'm never going to recognize the name. So it's got to be something in the subject that catches my eye. I go, Jeff, attached to a seminar. Jeff, need my credits, whatever. It just means I missed it. Please, get with me. Anybody who didn't get their letter today because they signed up late, I'm going to email to you by Sunday. If you don't have it by Sunday night, let me know on Monday. Remember, if you charged the course, it's going to appear on your credit card statement from Corporate Comedy, which is my main program. So don't, please, for husbands and stuff, what's this comedy crap? No. Right, and so really, and I know a lot of you have been through this program quite a few times, through the changes and stuff. Please take some of it to heart. I'd love to see some of you make changes in your life, especially for the people that are, when I'm saying, who does something fun in their life and almost nobody's raising their hand, whether it's just because you don't want to or not. But, really, this is your life. You're not put on this earth to make a living. You're put here to create a life. Right? You don't want to get to the end of it. I'm sure if you ask, Joe here, what are you, like 59 now? Who's, if he would look back at his life, he's not going to go, you know, I wish I worked harder. You know, I mean, I wish I just killed myself more. There was, you know, those weekends, I wish I would have given those up and just done transcripts. You know, it's life. You know, you're working to live, you don't live to work. Okay, and I know those are cliche things, but really focus on those. What are you doing to make your life better? This is your life too. You deserve to have a great one as well. Find some things that you enjoy in this life and make sure that you are getting to do those, okay? And one of those things should be coming to my seminar every 2 years. All right, so, yes?
Your email and phone is cut off.
Yeah, it's on every other page. So, but basically my email is my name, jeff@jeffjustice.com. Okay? And look on like the back of... Okay, hey! You're done. It's over with. You can go home now. Oh, wait, you already are home because you took a Jeff Justice seminar program online. Good thinking, smart for you. So just go ahead and either email us the PDF or send it in snail mail, whichever way you were doing this. We're great at getting it back to you along with your letter of completion. And remember, we have plenty more programs like this, so hopefully you will come to us time and time again when you need your CEUs, okay? Take care. Remember to always laugh more, stress less, and avoid getting burned out. Take care from Jeff Justice Seminars.